The autumn air in Beijing in September 2024 carried a distinct chill. It clung to the polished boots of the soldiers lined up in perfect formation. They stood motionless, like terracotta warriors brought to life, their faces stoic and unreadable. President Xi Jinping walked past them, his steps measured and deliberate. His dark suit was immaculate, a stark contrast to the olive-green uniforms of the People's Liberation Army soldiers. He did not rush. He surveyed the ranks with an intense gaze, a leader inspecting the very foundation of his power. Each soldier he passed represented a unit, a weapon, a promise of China's strength. On the surface, this was a familiar scene. It was a display of national pride and military might, carefully choreographed for the world to see. The message was clear. China is strong and its army is ready. But beneath this polished exterior, a different story was unfolding. Whispers and questions had been circulating for months, not just in foreign capitals but within the guarded compounds of Beijing itself. The very men who should have been standing proudly beside their leader were conspicuously absent. This was more than just a routine inspection. It was a powerful political statement. Xi's slow, deliberate walk was a performance of control. He was showing everyone, the soldiers before him, the party officials watching from the sidelines, and the international community, that he was firmly in charge. The PLA was his army, loyal to him and to the Communist Party of China. The drama within the PLA had been escalating since Xi Jinping secured his third term as leader. It wasn't just a minor reshuffle of personnel. It was a political earthquake. A surprising number of very senior military leaders had vanished from public view. Men who had once been powerful figures, commanding critical parts of China's military apparatus, were suddenly gone. The Minister of National Defense, Li Shangfu, disappeared without explanation in 2023, only to be formally removed months later. The top commanders of the elite rocket force, the unit responsible for China's nuclear arsenal, were also abruptly replaced. This pattern of disappearances was widespread and alarming. It went beyond the rocket force and the defense ministry. It touched generals in the Navy, the Air Force, and the vast military-industrial complex. These were not low-level officers. They were the architects of China's military modernization, handpicked by Xi himself. Their sudden fall from grace sent shockwaves through the system. The official reason, when one was given at all, was always the same: corruption. But the sheer scale and speed of the removals led many to ask a deeper question. Was this just about corruption, or was something else at play? At the heart of these dramatic purges is Xi Jinping's core objective: to forge a PLA that is completely and utterly loyal. This loyalty is not just to the nation of China, or even to the Communist Party as an institution. It is a personal loyalty to him as the commander-in-chief. Xi has repeatedly emphasized that the military's primary duty is to protect the party's rule. For him, he and the party are one and the same. Therefore, any challenge to his authority, any hint of divided allegiance, is seen as an existential threat that must be eliminated without mercy. The fight against corruption is the primary tool used to achieve this goal. There is no doubt that corruption has been a serious problem within the PLA for decades. It has weakened military readiness, siphoned off funds meant for modernization, and created networks of patronage that have nothing to do with merit. However, the anti-corruption campaign is also a powerful political weapon. It gives Xi a convenient and unassailable reason to remove anyone he deems unreliable, untrustworthy, or simply not enthusiastic enough in their support for him. This creates a climate of fear where every officer knows they are being watched. They understand that their survival and promotion depend not just on their professional competence, but on their demonstrated political loyalty to Xi Jinping. Xi's goal is to transform the PLA from a professional military into a political army, an army of the party. Ultimately, the evidence strongly suggests that Xi Jinping is not losing control. He is building a fortress of power. The purges, while disruptive, are a calculated move to secure his legacy and ensure the military is a reliable tool for his strategic ambitions. By installing new leaders who owe their careers entirely to him, he is creating a command structure that is personally loyal. This reduces the risk of a coup or any form of military opposition to his policies, whether they relate to domestic control or actions abroad, such as towards Taiwan. He is making the PLA truly his army. This relentless drive for control has significant implications for China's military. On one hand, a less corrupt and more disciplined PLA could become a more effective fighting force. By prioritizing merit and readiness over bribery and connections, Xi's reforms could genuinely improve the army's capabilities. A modernized and politically reliable military gives China more confidence on the world stage. It strengthens its position in territorial disputes and enhances its ability to project power far beyond its borders. However, this approach also carries risks. A climate of fear can stifle initiative and critical thinking among military commanders. Officers may become hesitant to report bad news or offer honest advice for fear of being seen as disloyal. In the end, Xi Jinping is betting that he can create a military that is both politically subservient and highly competent. As of today, it appears he is succeeding in tightening his grip. The People's Liberation Army is becoming more powerful and more aligned with its leader than ever before. The future of China, and indeed the stability of the entire region, will depend on how he chooses to wield this formidable instrument of power.